What's up, guys? Welcome back to Winner's Mindset. I'm Rip here with JDCR. Today, of course, recently we just learned a bunch about Season 4, but there's been a big focus about online. Season 4 has all these online improvements, so we just want to have an episode talking about like online versus offline tournaments and all the stuff associated with that and with Season 4. How you doing, JD?
Hey, this is JDCR. I'm doing all right, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's late for you. It's early for me. It's a little bit rough.
Oh, yeah, really tired. It's 1 a.m. almost.
Yeah, and it's like 8 a.m., almost 9 a.m. for me, so that's way too early. But,
Okay.
obviously, the COVID situation, there are less and less offline events. Obviously, you guys out there are starting to have some offline events, but out here in America, it's terrible, right? So we may
Yeah.
never get offline again, like nobody knows.
Yeah.
And then you have Season 4, the recent
Yeah.
announcement they're talking about the Netcode improvements. Harada,
Yeah.
Micah Murray, they really talked so much about all the change they went through.
Yeah.
They have people
Yeah.
testing it. So it sounds like there is hope that the netcode's going to be improved a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should try it out online just to compare it. But I tried it just the other night, last night with somebody from Japan and somebody from
Yeah.
Europe, and
Yeah.
even in the current version of the netcode, it's still playable. Like it's laggier.
Really?
It's not terrible. Yeah, like we should definitely try it. You'll see. But
Okay.
obviously, I think that the world is kind of changing. Right, we're all adjusting to this in the fighting game community.
Yeah.
How do you see online tournaments versus offline tournaments in general?
So online and offline tournament usually I always has been I've been thinking like offline is much better of course
Hmm.
uh more entertaining when you
Right.
play and then also when we watch, right?
Hmm.
But lately in Korea, there is an online tournament these days in Korea. But
Hmm.
Korea has a good PC culture, and then we have a so fast internet. We're number one in the world, probably.
Right.
Yeah. So this kind of online event is also interesting to see more people actually. So they like more people join online tournament because they might feel like casual players maybe they might feel less pressure because offline tournament you have to pay the entry, you have to
Hmm.
travel, and then you get nervous having others watching you. But online tournament playing at your home, then just you can have fun. So this is also this is like pros. We have like pros and cons, but this is why online is good. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's really interesting what you mentioned about more people wanting to enter online tournaments.
yeah,
Because out here we have obviously the Tekken online challenge is happening. We have these
mm,
Bud Light online tournaments that we were doing out here in America. There's like
yeah,
Wednesday night fights that I've been running. We've done
mm,
like 27 weeks of Wednesday night fights online now. And
mm,
the crazy thing to me is we've expanded the region like larger and larger. So we
mm,
started with just Southern California, and now we're all the way up to Washington and Arizona, New Mexico, and Las Vegas. So now our weekly tournament, which used to be just a small, subset of players, is now
yeah,
much larger, right? We have like
yeah,
half the country is sent almost,
yeah,
and it's fun because we get players like Bin Chang showing up now weekly. Every week we have Bin Chang
uh,
in our tournament. It's so cool.
yeah,
So for us as a scene, it's actually really interesting, and the netcode currently can support
mm,
that. So if the netcode gets better, it's
uh,
going to be even more
yeah,
impressive.
yeah, 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 yeah,
A lot of the players now, we're starting to reach a point where you start deciding, offline is very good. It's
yeah,
very good. It's
yeah, yeah,
better. The game's offline, but you lose like this ability to play against everyone. So I think for us personally, the guys running Wednesday night fights, we feel like if this goes away, let's say offline tournaments come back, we still want to
mm,
keep doing these online tournaments, like maybe at least
mm,
once a month or something.
that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So and
mm.
obviously, playing online in a tournament, it's different, right? As a player, because
It is different. It is
right.
different.
So
Yeah.
how do you feel about that? Like, what do you see is different between online tournaments and offline tournaments when you are
So
yourself competing?
first of all, in terms of the setting, so online is usually PC, right? Better connection, yeah, and
Hmm.
then more players. So PC, I started playing PC this year, preparing online tournament. So oh god, the first time was I didn't actually notice that it is different because I had a not a perfect setup for PC. So my
Hmm.
PC setup wasn't like giving the perfect connection, perfect graphic or whatever.
Hmm.
So as soon as, but I noticed that playing online that some of my opponent, they move really fast, and then their reaction was so good, and their reaction looks faster. So and and then I try to change in my monitor, and then I kind of feel PC is way faster than console.
In my opinion, playing on PC is the best way to play Tekken 7 on the internet, right? Like when I play on the PlayStation 4, it doesn't feel as good to me. After this netcode update, I'll probably try the PlayStation again to see if it feels better. But right now, I don't see any reason to play on the PlayStation. Online. Yeah.
PlayStation online, definitely no, yeah.
Right. And, offline, when you have tournaments, it's the standard machine, right? So everyone wants to practice on that for that reason. But when you play on the internet, I feel like you're not getting an offline experience anyway. So you might as well just play on the best version of online.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I've been doing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And so, what about though, Anakin, he was on the Tekken Online Challenge, and he was talking about when he plays in online tournaments, it's harder for him because he has to try to be more focused. At offline tournaments, he was talking about, you're there, you're surrounded by everyone playing their matches, you're paying attention, you're like, oh man, I want, next person I play might be that guy, he plays this character and that character, and you're paying attention. And then you go to an online tournament and you don't have that. You play your one match and then you're just sitting there, and you have a stream to watch where you can see some random matches. But that's it, right? You don't get to keep up with everything that's happening in your pool around around you specifically. How do you feel about that kind of stuff for online?
So So first online tournament, I felt very weird that I was playing 1K tournament at home in my room where I actually sleep. So I don't feel it like a tournament. It looks like just a random event or rank match. So I feel the same, that I really can focus online tournament. So actually that's why you see this background. That's why I moved this PC setup to this small room. So I wanted to focus, and then this room is only for Tekken. This is very small. So this kind of things very important for online tournament. Like offline tournament, as soon as you leave your home and then traveling, you focus on tournament, and you are very excited to meet people, talk about Tekken and tournament. But online tournament, watching screen alone and then just eating some chips, and then now it's my turn to play, and then you lose, it's okay. Just go out and get some good food. If you win, still go get some good food. But the experience is totally different.
What do you think about getting nervous? I don't know. Do you still get nervous in offline tournaments?
I get nervous playing online tournament actually.
What about offline though?
Offline, not really.
Okay, so but you do get nervous playing online.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's because I play at home or somewhere else. Maybe I actually tried the online tournament, PC Cafe in Korea. I didn't want to play seriously. I mean, I can really play seriously at home. So I enter online tournament at PC Cafe to focus more. I think that helped me actually a little bit. But something like this. What was your question, by the way?
I was asking you, why you get nervous when you play an online tournaments.
It's because I play alone, maybe without people, maybe.
It's
weird.
I mean,
it's less fun, probably less fun. No people to hang out, no people to talk. But offline tournament,
whatever, right?
Whatever. Offline tournament, you enjoy the vibe actually, right?
It's super weird for me because when I play offline, I kind of feed off the energy of the crowd, right? So when people are cheering, or even if they're cheering for my opponent, that gives me some kind of energy to try to play better. Right? But when I play online, the only energy I have is me getting angry if something doesn't go the way I want it to go. You know, it's like I broke that throw. You know, like when that happens in an offline tournament, you know you messed up something. But when it happens online, you're like, was I a little bit late? Was the internet in the way? Like, what happened?
It's online.
And so when that happens, though, I get so much more angry, you know, and so I feel like my anger levels in online tournaments goes up really fast, you know. So what I started doing, I started playing while streaming. I entered online tournaments, which is super weird, right? Because it's almost like cheating, because you have the whole chat. They're like, "That's -12, punish that," you know. And so I'm looking like, good idea, you know. If I lose the game, I look at the chat, and the chat's give me all the answers, you know. I'm like, oh man, okay, you guys are right. But then I can't, like, you know, when I'm a streamer, I talk to the chat a lot while I play. So when I try to do that in online terms, I can't. I have to stop talking completely.
Yeah, right.
So it's like way more focused, but at the same time, I still get nervous with it. And a lot of times, you know, I'll have to cover my camera because I feel like I'm too focused. You know, for like a normal stream, I'm like, I'm just happy, I'm smiling. Whatever. Tournament mode, I'm like, you know, like I'm like breathing all weird. You know? Yeah, so I don't know. Online tournaments, man, there's a different kind of stress for it.
Yeah, online tournament is different. Like, so PC online is very different than PS4 offline. So I also noticed that PC online, when I play PC online tournament, I become less patient probably. I press more button. Or maybe I press way faster than PS4 because timing is different, you know?
Yeah, see, I don't really feel it as much as you, right? Like I think at your level, see, because at your level, like you can notice like every little change like that, right? For me, I'm much more casual now, so I know it's different, but I don't get to play offline enough to recognize the offline difference. The majority of my matches now are all online. Like I can't tell you the last time I played offline other than like practice mode to try something out. You know, because against another human offline. I think I've done it once this year since COVID started. Just one time. That's it.
Okay.
So very, very little. But yeah, timing is definitely different, obviously, online or offline. So, you know, what about we talked a lot about online PC, online PS4. You know, what do you think about, you know, tournaments in general on PC versus PlayStation 4? Because now, obviously, I think a lot of tech players think the PC version is the best version, right? In terms of like responsiveness and everything. So, you know, why not go in that direction? Obviously, it's a topic people have talked about in the past, but why not push tournaments into the PC direction? Because obviously, this tournament stands PS4, but everyone seems to think PCs could be better.
Yeah, everyone thinks PC could be better. I think that also PC, but definitely PC is better option. But for TO tournament organizer, it's gonna be very difficult to prepare all the PC. It costs more. And then also PC has different you know stuff like a graphic card power, you know, everything like motherboard, right? It's gonna affect PC spec as well. So also for players, if you go enter PC tournament, I would like to know the specs, standard the PC spec for tournament, right?
So you're saying if they have a PC tournament, you want them to have a specific spec?
Same PC.
That is never gonna happen, JD.
That's the thing. But PS4, we don't have to worry about this kind of things, you know. For TO and player, same platform, PS4,
machine, right?
Same machine. And then TO cheaper to prepare, right? So we all know that PC is better. Probably we can tell that maybe. Well, I don't know because no one actually tried PC tournament right now.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Like there might be some issues. I've heard some potential issues, right?
I think that I also think there might be some issue. I had actually one issue in the PC event. So anyway, PC event might cause maybe if there's no issue, but then we all can tell PC is better, but it's not like in reality it's difficult for TO. Yeah.
Right. No, definitely for the TO, the cost of buying PCs is way higher than buying PlayStation 4s or Xboxes. And obviously, you know, PCs, they get older over time. So when you have to put new equipment, it's like
Oh yeah,
a
yeah,
bigger purchase, right? So
yeah.
obviously from the tournament organizer standpoint, it's more expensive. Also, I think with PCs, you got to worry about like which sticks are compatible. You know, with the PlayStation, everyone knows like, oh, I got my stick; it works on a PlayStation, right? It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
So obviously, that's the reason that we don't really get that. But
But
you know,
yeah,
you mentioned wanting the same exact PC setup, right? And I know you've had like issues in the past with just in general, console tournaments not having the exact same kind of like monitor setup even.
a monitor. Yeah,
Like you want to talk about
yeah.
that a little bit?
So I traveled maybe let's say maybe I traveled like 10 years, almost 10 years. Yeah,
For
but
what?
after, for like Tekken traveling, Tekken
Oh,
event
for
almost
you,
10.
yeah.
Yeah, me, yeah. Then since the TWT, that's I travel more, and then that's when I started noticing the setup at event. Yeah, some of them usually have a like certain brand, but some of them have a like different brand. Yeah,
You mean
and
for
then
monitors, right?
yeah, monitors, yes, and then I feel quite weird that to play on different setups because the reaction must be the input or reaction for the monitor must be different actually. So I was when I kind of worry about this kind of stuff, I also noticed myself or other players actually make more mistake as well. I noticed that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, what game. Okay, even Street Fighter, I can watch. Even
Right.
top players and then they make mistake. They drop combo. Yeah. So I was yeah. I think that this is it quite has been a issue probably to play as a player to play on different setups. But yeah, this is also difficult issue for you know for
Just for
TO
like
as well.
offline.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for
yeah,
TOs too, exactly. Because
yeah,
obviously, different tournament organizers are going to own different monitors.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like if you say, "Hey, we want the tournament standard to be this brand, this model," obviously you're requiring every tournament organizer to run that,
yeah,
right? Which is the
yeah,
biggest
yeah,
issue we have. But then you have,
yeah.
other tournaments where it's so much less consistent. I will say because at least sometimes you go to tournament, most tournaments are like this. You go where the monitors are all at least the same brand and model. Where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, you go to the tournament, like all the monitors are this one. Okay, good,
Mm.
right? You know how to adjust. You can practice before the tournament starts,
Yeah,
kind of, get
yeah,
used to it.
yeah,
But then you go to other tournaments. I remember the first time I went to like Evo Japan, and there
yeah,
was like 5 or 6 different monitors. I was
yeah,
like, I remember in
yeah.
my pool, I was jumping. I played on 4 different monitors in my pool. I'm like, that's impossible, dude. Like, I'm trying to do DSS timing, it's not working.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so hard to stay consistent. So I mean, I hope that one day we get to figure out the monitor situation, and just there's been so many issues with tournament setups offline in the past with like whether like Capcom Cup, right? Punk and
That,
where he's like Punk said after
oh
like this everyone knows the 1P machine was laggier, and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that sucks, but like the players need to say something when that happens, right? So
So
hopefully one day we get there and everything's
yeah,
normal.
that's not monitor, but that's maybe that might be from maybe stage setup, maybe the splitter or whatever. So
Exactly.
this is the thing, like monitor, splitter, everything can cause a problem to players. So I kind of hope I actually hope that to have a standard setups, and then we do as a for TO for player, we do have a like better understanding the setups. Oh yeah, and then actually, but PC has a definitely advantage sponsorship.
Yes, that's a
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
one.
right.
That's the biggest
Yeah,
reason I
huge
think
one.
people want that to happen because on a PC you have, like you mentioned earlier, all the components, right? You've got like a motherboard, you've got
Yeah, yeah.
memory, graphics card, power supply, tower, whatever, the
Mm,
monitor brand, etc. Right? So keyboard, mice. So you can have more sponsors be like, hey, this tournament's run on Corsair memory, it's run on
mm,
EVGA power supply or EVGA graphics, NVIDIA graphics card. With the
mm.
with the PlayStation or Xbox, it's like this console is brought to you by Sony, Microsoft. That's it. That's all you
Yeah,
get.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
we get to have obviously the arcade stick sponsors. So opening the door to all these other sponsors would be
Mm.
huge on PC. But you also, obviously that'll bring more money into the tournaments, to the players,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah.
But obviously it's got its issues in terms of like how
Mm,
expensive it
yeah,
is for tournament organizers, right?
yeah.
But maybe it's something like if it happens again, like Tekken World Tour offline again, they can
Mm.
do it where they say Tekken World Tour, we're going to provide 8 machines or something to run your tournament on. Because
Yeah.
remember if you like when this all started, 2017, we had these Wizard World events in America, and they flew the arcade cabinets around everywhere. Right, so we had like I think 8 arcade cabinets that they were shipping around across the United States for us to hold tournaments in. Obviously, that's way more expensive than shipping around a couple of PCs, I think.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because obviously now there's smaller form PCs that they can send around. But you know, I mean, it's still much more difficult to do.
Yeah, but I was also thinking like with this COVID situation, definitely more people are playing on PC. Yeah. So when actually players they get used to PC, they might be, you know, stick with the PC. Even COVID is done, you know, even when COVID disappear, maybe we'll be like, maybe we will be prefer PC online tournament or, you know, some different setups anyway. So this is interesting. And also season 4 has a better online connection that let's say we have a still COVID next year or later, but we have a better online connection that you can have your own American TWT. That's cool. Yeah,
that's insane. I mean, you know, when they released it, the first thing Markman said it, which I think is crazy, but he said, and also I should say I was not a tester. Okay, I don't know what the new patch is, but Markman said he tested it with Anakin, which is California Deadland, and he said, just like offline. It sounds ridiculous.
Okay.
I think it's impossible, right? But maybe it's possible. I'm very excited to see what they do.
Maybe possible, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? And going back to, you know, you said online versus offline. You know, well, first of all, actually, you know, you mentioned the PS4 and how maybe people want to play online PC tournaments. I feel like you're like a little bit behind maybe. I don't know if it's just you specifically or if it's more players in Korea. Because I know you personally, you stuck to PlayStation 4 because you wanted to, you know, keep that like offline tournament standard, you know, in your muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Right, so I feel like you're newer to playing PC online, right? But
yes,
what about
I'm very new to it.
What about the rest of the players in like Korea though? Do they play PC mainly, or are they a lot of them on PlayStation 4?
Everyone play on PC. Everyone play on PC.
And that's not a new thing, right? Like they've been doing that for a while, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. See, so I feel like even though everyone likes PC more, we still don't get PC tournaments. You know, it's so I mean maybe one day we'll get it, but I feel like we'll see after this patch, because I think with the season 4 patch, if the netcode is as good as people are talking about, there's a good chance we'll get more online tournaments.
But did you know that Japan, they prefer PC or PS4?
Online?
No, I mean, like the cultural thing is they just prefer PS4. Like cultural thing is, you know.
Is that because
doesn't matter online or Tekken. No, it's like I heard that like PS4 is like very maybe common for, you know, Japanese, you know, like regular people, not a gamer as well, because maybe Sony or, you know, the gaming culture there, they have a good, you know, good game in Japan. Yeah, that's
interesting. I didn't know that. And obviously, you know, everything moving online, you know, how is that affecting like esports too? Because you know, like viewership wise, I think we had when we had offline events way more viewers, right? Like I don't know what
you mean TWT. TWT master, we used to have like at least 20K.
I think so.
Yeah, 25K, 30K. Yeah. Evo Tekken was like 100K.
Yeah, Evo is its own special thing, though, right?
Yeah.
And nowadays, you know, we have the Tekken Online Challenge. We had the Tekken Online Challenge Korea recently, which was probably the highest level that we've seen, right?
It was like how much was it?
I think it was like 10 to 15,000. So it was still a lot.
Yeah.
Right, but it's a little bit less, but I feel like it's also less because people don't really know yet. You know, there's only been like 2 or 3 events. They don't really know what to expect. So I think it's kind of it's kind of like teaching the community, like, hey, this happens, you need to look at it, because so many people don't know, right? Like for those of you right now who don't know, Tekken Online Challenge is happening almost every week, right? Like this weekend will be a break, but then like there's 3 weeks in a row after that, 1 week break, 3 weeks in a row, 1 week break. So I think we have like another 7 or 8 more for the rest of this year, 2020, right? So a lot of events, a lot of regions, exposure. You know, the exhibition matches they've been doing have been a lot of fun too. Man, and dude, people were talking about you and your exhibition match. Like, you have to talk to me about this because you went against LowHigh online, right? And I think, you know, a lot of people, we didn't really know who to pick was going to win that one between you and LowHigh, because obviously LowHigh's been so good recently. And we thought it was going to be very, very close. But you looked ridiculously good there. And so many people were messaging me, you know, I was restreaming the event. So many people were saying like, dude, I haven't seen JDCR play this way in such a long time. So for you, what was different there? Like, why did you seem like you were so much better? Were you actually better, or was it just a good day?
No, it wasn't good that I prepare for it.
Okay.
I mean, it's quite funny to talk about this exhibition, but, you know, anyway. So I practiced a lot to get to this PC online, you know. Like, you know, I started DC online like in April the first time, and then until now I had so many problems, to be honest, to get used to it, because the game itself looks faster. I still think that my setup isn't enough, to be honest, and then also I feel like playing Tekken. I noticed that lately, so LowHigh matchup, I was very thinking about this moment that, this is PC. I keep telling myself this is PC, you know. So I can get used to it, and then that's how I played. And now I also prepared the matchup as well.
No, yeah, it was very impressive, and you know, even, I mean, the event that you played him in was over a week ago. It was like 2 weeks ago almost now, and you know, people are still talking to me about it. Like they're still talking about like how good you look like, and I don't know if you've heard that too when you're playing your stream, but people think, man, JDCR is back now. You know, like you went away for a long time or something.
To be honest, if I focus really, then that's how I play. But actually, low exhibition is the one actually I wanted to win, because tournament sometimes actually, to be honest, I don't care.
Yeah.
Tournament sometimes I don't care. Winning or losing, I don't care. That's why I've been playing stupid Armor King and Heihachi.
Hey man, Heihachi's cool, all right? Your Armor King.
They are cool. But you know, if I wanted to win, to be honest, I would have picked always strong character, like S tier character. But no, I don't do that. Anyway, but this exhibition, first to 5 is, you know, it's like, this is more important than tournament. Okay, I don't prepare tournament. I don't give a shit sometimes.
Yeah, you're a crazy pro player.
But this one, sometimes I know that this is not good, but sometimes, you know, just I play tournament for fun as well, like TWT online challenge as well. I stream that, and then I stream that. I felt laggy as well, but anyway, yeah, I focus a lot for this exhibition. Yes,
you cared more about it than how you care for regular tournaments. I could tell it. It showed, obviously. You know, so let's move on. That's an interesting topic point, because you care to win there and everything. But season 4 is coming around the corner. They're talking about, you know, one of the big changes they're talking about. They said, we noticed players said there's too much damage, there's too much wall carry. So one of the things we want to do is increase the health bar. You know, like, how do you feel that's going to change Tekken 7?
Better for better players.
Better for better players. And I think that's what they said as well. They said that they think it's going to, you know, maybe increase the skill gap a little bit. They were scared to do that. You know, they talked a lot about the balance, you know, where they said it's hard to make something completely balanced but also keep it very fun. So sometimes you want it to be a little imbalanced in certain ways so that it's more fun to play. Right? And I think that's what we've seen. I think with season 3 they went too far, right? So, you know, Leroy Falkenraum, obviously they went too far. You know, they're probably going to scale that back. But it's exciting, right? Like, what do you think some of the balance changes are going to be? What are you looking forward to? What do you hope they're going to do?
I think that, to be honest, I really don't care about the character balance, I think. Because there will be always... I don't like playing against top-tier character Leroy Falkenraum. I agree that they are too easy and too strong, yeah? But I'm more likely I follow Namco what they do. So I'm it's not like I don't care the balance, but I more care about the the health bar change and then wall combo system difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get confirmation that there's actually going to change the wall combos, like something about it? Because I know they said that the damage is going to be was
It said-
for players.
Yeah,
But are they actually going to try to change the wall combo? Like
that's what I see. That's what I saw.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll see. Like I think everyone's waiting, right? Because whatever, like they said a lot, but until the patch notes hit, then we'll see what it is, right? Because
right.
also they talked about the online rank system. How if you get 3 losses in a row, it's gonna be like bigger demotion essentially, right? Like you lose more points. But then Michael Murray on Twitter just yesterday, I think he said, it's only gonna be for people who are at the highest rank, right? So if you're for people at the highest rank. Right,
Okay.
so if you're like say Divine Ruler and you lose 3 in a row, it's not any different for you. But I think if you're Tekken God Omega and you lose 3 in a row, then that third loss takes off a lot. So this is like I said, they talked a lot, but until we actually see the patch notes, we're not gonna know what's gonna happen, right?
We
But
have to see. Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you accept that there's always gonna be a top character in the game, because what game doesn't have that? Now, I was gonna ask you, what Tekken do you think is like the most balanced Tekken then for you?
The most balanced game?
Yeah, most balanced Tekken game.
Tekken Tag 2 maybe.
Tag 2?
Yeah.
What about Jinpachi?
Oh, he's a shitty, yes.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, exactly.
Tekken Tag 2, I think. Oh.
Christy?
Oh God!
Yeah, see, you just forgot all of it, man. All right, it was like 6 years ago. Your memories, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not.
What about? Yeah, what about then? BR? No way.
Like the cheap characters in BR were like Bob, Lars, and Law.
Jack, man, Jack.
In Tekken 6, BR?
Yeah,
I didn't.
I think Jack is the best character.
Wow.
Jack is the best character in Tekken 6 BR. Yeah.
So you?
I think.
Man, that's crazy. I think we didn't really get to see a lot of like how the Tekken World Tour is now, or how it used to be, where we'd have a lot of international get together and see everyone playing at the same time. I wish we had that for those older games. I think then we would really know what the balance was, But currently we can't really say, I guess. Because like you said, Jack there, and obviously we have Anakin here in America, and he's always winning no matter what Tekken game it is. So it doesn't matter. Like he's gonna win with Jack anyway. So it's hard for us to have seen that. But Anakin, even Anakin, as good as he wasn't like dominating the scene. He was also very young back then. He was a lot younger, so we didn't get to see him traveling around as much.
So in Tekken 6 BR, we watched how Anakin plays, and then and then he won tournaments. I came back to Korea, and then I tried Jack, and then it turns out he's really good and strong. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Going back to the health bar changes coming for season 4, right? I've heard that older versions of Tekken in Korea used to be played at like +1 setting or something. I remember hearing that, but I don't remember which Tekken it was for.
Yeah.
Like, which Tekkens did you guys do that for, and how?
I think it's a Tekken. I think it's a Tekken 5. Tekken 5 in Korea. So maybe Tekken 5 we have also Korea we had a +1 setting, while Japan was having +0. It was huge difference. Yes.
Yeah, and so that was Tekken 5.0 or Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, DR.
I think all of the Tekken 5 series, Tekken 5.1 and then DR. Yeah. So that create kind of like the different style between Korea and Japan. So Korea has a more health bar, meaning poking is less efficient maybe. So moving more, replenishment, and then again move more. But Japan, I was watching video and then noticed that Japan, their style was like more poking and being more aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of my concerns, right? Because obviously it's not that big of a concern because we don't have the full list of changes. But if they increase the health bar, one of the concerns is if they leave everything else the same, then poking will be less effective. How do you feel about that idea?
Poking will be less effective.
Yes.
Because since one low parry is more, of course, more efficient. Like one combo can be more efficient, of course. So poking has to take more risky.
What do you think about the low parry system right now?
I think that.
Do you think they should change it, I guess, is the bigger question. Or do you
I
like it?
like Tekken 6.
Yeah, I mean, which one do you prefer? And which one do you want?
I want to see Tekken 6 be a low parry, of course. That makes which makes less damage,
Yeah.
less combo. That's better for better players.
Better for better players. That's the slogan.
Yeah.
I think I agree, because I think
right?
I think if off a low parry, because if pokes are already going to be less effective, right? Because this is just a guess, right? Because they might release the patch note and say, hey, we increased the health bars, but all the pokes that characters have increased damage. Then pokes are still very strong, but then it also means that the bigger health bar doesn't really matter as much either, right? Because you're talking about really poke damage versus combo damage, right? And you're trying to see which one does more or less. So I would prefer, actually, in general, like Tekken goes to smaller combos again, because I've been playing a lot of Tekken 5. And in Tekken 5, there's no bound. There's no screw attack. You launch a player, you try to do dash jabs to get him to a wall, and then you end the combo, right? And off a low parry, as you mentioned, before, you would like auto bound them with the low parry, so that you get only a small combo afterward. Whereas now the combos are kind of long. You get this wall carry just off a low parry. So low pokes are still risky in this way now. So I would like to see Tekken, kind of go back to that stage. Like, I don't know if in Tekken 7 we'll ever get back there, like all the way, obviously, because Tekken 7 it's its own game. I think you can't really change that because it's built into the way the system is now. Maybe Tekken 8 or something,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're speaking of with this one. I might also think that they kind of Namco, they put this kind of change, like health bar, wall combo system, and then balance. Feel like they put it for a test, as a test for Tekken 8. Why is season 4 too late, to this huge change?
Is it a huge change, though?
It's a huge change, I feel. Like changing health bar. This is a huge change.
I think what happened is that, people have talked about power creep, right? That's the term that everyone uses to describe this, right? Where they say power creep, where they say that, over time, they keep on making things stronger and stronger slowly. When you get deeper into the game, all of a sudden, boom, everything is super strong now, right? So now the damage is so high. So this is what people have described it as. I don't really see it that way. I think it's a conscious decision they've made with certain characters like Fakamama, whose damage to be so high. But I think that, a character like Paul maybe is a good example of this, right? Where he was always good, but they made him better and better and better. So now when you look at Paul, you're like, what the hell? This character is ridiculous. Right? So now they're like, all right, how do we fix this without taking away everything we added to them? Let's just make the life bar bigger. I think that's what they're at. I don't see it as a test for Tekken 8.
Okay.
But
I mean,
Kunimitsu maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, to me, still, health bar matters to me actually a lot. So season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, why this late? They want to change this important thing. They want to test.
I don't think it's a test. I think they just want Tekken 7 to remain fun and playable for everybody. And I think now there's too much damage, and that's one of the biggest complaints from the community, that things do too much damage. The combos are too big. And so there's only a few ways you can fix that, right? You either nerf all the damage and nerf all the combos, or you make the life bar bigger. So I think that's an easy fix in comparison to like the hard fix.
That is actually very easy fix.
Yeah, just make the life bar bigger. See what happens. But yeah, I think you're right though. It's gonna be better for better players. That's for sure.
What about the character change? You think they are gonna nerf the strong character right now, or they're gonna buff the others?
They said that they're focusing on characters who aren't used as much. So that means characters like maybe Gigas might be more focused?
The problem, it's not okay. It's not problem, but the thing is, we see now in tournament, we see only 5 or 6 characters.
Which 5 or 6 do you think?
Hakulam, Leroy, Steve, Geese, Kazumi. Who else?
Where's the Akuma players at?
Akuma, okay, 6. Now it's 6.
Yeah. But what about Shaheen? I think we see a lot of Shaheen now too.
Maybe Shine, but the other 6 are definitely better characters, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do I think that they're going to nerf those characters?
Yeah. Or buff the other 40 characters.
I think they're going to try to buff characters still.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
And
I think so.
I wish that they would nerf the top characters. I feel like that's the best way to change things up, right?
Oh, okay.
That's just my opinion. Like, it's fine. You know, way back before Tekken 7, Eris used to always say, like, stop nerfing characters, just buff the weaker characters. He always used to say that, right? And that's pretty much what they've done in Tekken 7. And this is where we've ended up now, where you have characters like Paul who are still getting buffed. It's like, even though for some characters you think, yeah, okay, just buff the lower characters. But if your whole mindset for your balance team is not nerf, just give buffs, I think you end up getting these characters that are buffed, that are getting buffs anyway. You're like, why did Horon get more buffs? Why does Horon keep getting better changes? You know, they're probably looking at data and they're saying, man, there's not enough people using Horon. Let's make the character better.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe.
So it's very hard to figure out how to fix this issue. Like, it's obviously something they're learning over time. And, you know, I think everyone wants immediate results. People are like, look at this. This should be better. You know, like, if you play Gigas, like, which I've been playing a lot of Gigas lately, you're like, why doesn't he have, like, some kind of get-off-me move? You know, like, Kuma has, like, G-clip cannon, you know, the 1-1-1 thing, you know, he's got a real hop kick. Gigas, if somebody's rushing you down, you got down jab. You know, down jab, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have anything. You got maybe 12-frame headbutt, you know, long-range jab, right? So, you know, when they try to buff Gigas, which they probably will, you know, what are they going to give the character? You know, are they just going to increase his damage, which would be stupid because that doesn't help him any.
Doesn't help,
right? Like, in the long term of things. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what their approach with Gigas specifically is.
Yeah, that is also I'm curious about that too, because let's say they want to balance, they want to buff Gigas, so make him as strong as Bakunan, let's say, or Leroy. What kind of tools then he should have, Gigas? Maybe 3+4 or jet kick, you know, Bakunan jet kick or 3+4. Like, what kind of tool that fits his personality, you know?
I think
it's a bit.
I think if they make his power crush way better, like way better, like
way better.
Yeah. Like his power crush, if it absorbs, you know how sometimes if you end power crush with it, so you get the down 2 afterward, right? A lot of times I try to do that, and when I absorb with the power crush, I don't even get a jab afterward, right?
Okay.
But if his power crush let him always get a jab, you know what I mean? Like, make the power crush so good that's almost like a Leroy parry. You know?
Okay.
I think then you kind of stick to what the character's like, but you give him this tool that's super powerful. And because it's a power crush, it's also very beatable. You just go low against it, you throw him. You know? So I think that would be a huge change, a huge buff for Gigas.
That's interesting, yes. It is interesting.
Then you don't got to give him, like, you know, jet kick or whatever for like Bakuram or something dumb like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that idea because that's my problem with Gigas. What else? You know, Kunimitsu. How do you feel about Kunimitsu? Are you excited or you don't care?
I'm very excited, but I know that I'm not gonna play her.
Yeah, it's not your type of character. I think the crazy thing about her is they've said, you know, she's not gonna play like a traditional Tekken character.
Right? Did they say that? Did they say that?
Multiple times. Yeah.
Multiple times, not traditional characters. Yeah.
And they talk about her having 2 different weapons. They like, you know, this type of weapon is like a short sword. This one is called something else, right?
Maybe,
They made a big deal about her having 2 separate types of weapons.
Yeah, I talked about Kunimitsu actually on today on my stream. That I was talking like, if she has this blue sword, then she can freeze her opponent.
Freeze? like Sub-Zero?
Yeah, like freeze, okay?
Yeah.
So let's say she freeze maybe Heihachi, right?
Like electric? Okay.
In certain moments, he can do electric. He can use white.
His arm gets slower and slower.
Yeah.
No way. No way,
And then,
dude.
on the other hand, if she has this fire sword, then
Yeah.
she made your opponent
Faster? No, dude.
something like that.
No way, man. That's a crazy idea. Look, okay. I agree that it might be a crazy idea, like something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think
This is a test for Tekken 8.
that. I think I agree with that. I think Kunimitsu,
Yeah.
with what they've said about her, I think she's a test for Tekken 8. I think
Yeah,
that's
right.
true. Yeah, because
Maybe, yes.
you know, like how when we had Eliza in Tekken Revolution, it was like a test for Geese and
Yeah,
Akuma in the Tekken 7, obviously. So I think
Yeah.
Kunimitsu, whatever she is like, I think they're starting to test more stuff for Tekken 8, even like Noctis and everything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the season 4 stuff, right? We talked about the netcode's gonna be better. It might open up tournaments around the world. It might open up, you know, more online tournament kind of events. I'm very excited for the netcode changes. You know, the Wi-Fi indicator, so we finally know who these Wi-Fi people are. You know, so get rid of those guys. And then we also obviously talk about the health bar changes that they're talking about, the balance changes for the game. Anything else you want to talk about for season 4?
I'm just really looking forward to it. But the interesting is they are gonna release this fall, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When is this fall?
Everyone asks me, right? Okay, so if you go to Google, you type in fall 2020. Okay, I think the date is like September something. I think September 21st until December 21st.
Oh God.
So sometime before December 21st.
God.
And because they did not give us a release date, I think it's not coming in October.
And then they also mentioned that the fall meaning different in gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
So it means maybe next year, maybe.
No, I think it's coming. If I have to make a guess, I think it's coming in November. That's my
November.
guess. I think so.
I guess this is December or very late November.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be later. It's not gonna be sooner. You know, one more thing before we go, JD. There's still one more character and stage coming. What do you think?
Mokujin.
No way. For a DLC character? Mokujin? I think people would be pissed.
Yeah, kind of, yes. Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna be the guy from Yakuza.
Oh. Yeah. People are talking about him, right?
Because remember they showed that screenshot of like Harada tweeted 4 screenshots a while ago, and they had the Japanese convenience store in one of them with Lee's face.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right, and so we still have one more stage that's coming, so it could be that stage back there that they teased.
Okay.
So that stage, or first of all, it's a normal Japanese convenience store, but maybe it's Yakuza, maybe it's just the Tekken 4 Shinjuku stage coming back.
I like that too.
Mm-hmm. Could be anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, anything else you want to talk about before we go?
I think that we covered almost everything.
Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So make sure you guys check me out at all my socials below, JDCR. What else you got going on right now?
Huh? I'm sleepy.
I asked, what else do you have going on right now?
Nothing. I'm sleepy.
I mean, obviously you still stream a bunch, right? I saw you still make videos to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I stream. I also, I opened my video on YouTube. So check it out. My JDCR down here, Twitch and Twitter, and then YouTube. Yeah.
Yep. And so, of course, shout out to EQNX for sponsoring these videos. You can check them out at equinoxgg.com.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap up this episode. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. I'm Rip. That's JDCR. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you.